Hello everyone. So this is the third piece in the series that I've been doing. I wanted to thank Salvador Brand Paints for sending me this little paint set, and I used a few colors from their paint set. I'm enjoying it. Supporting this channel. If you'd like to support this channel, you can leave me a tip, and the tip jar is in the description box in the form of a PayPal link where small donations are welcome, or you can share. Sharing is a great way to support your favorite artist. One thing I wanted to talk about first is the back of your canvas. It's really great to lightly spray the back of your canvas with water before you start. I try to remember this, and then you kind of rub it in and it tightens the canvas up before you start, especially if you can let it dry. And then sometimes these little pieces are attached on the back. See those little wood pieces? Now this is an Arteza canvas, and those little pieces fit into the little grooves, which I'll show you right there, those little grooves. And that can help tighten up your canvas if it's saggy at all. So if you stay tuned this next week or so, I am testing so many cups. Look at all these amazing cups that I got sent to me. I want to test some of these out and show you guys what they do and what they are, so stay tuned to my channel. This is an 18 by 24 canvas. It is not a gallery wrap canvas, just a level 1, but I wanted to keep it light because it's pretty big. So I begin to layer my cup, and these are all the colors that are in my cup. If you don't know the primary elements, that is the Bling It powder called Love Struck. It's a pigment powder from Color Art Pigments by Leslie Onstad, and you can find those online. And the 24 karat gold is a Deco Art color, and black, which you can use any black you want. All my paints today were mixed with Floetrol, and the thin paints, the fluid acrylics, were all mixed with Owatrol and water only if needed. The paints are fairly thick. I would say they leave a mound on a mound when you lift the stick up after stirring. So that'll give you an idea of the thickness, consistency of these paints. And this was the first cup for this painting. I also did a second cup, but I did it off camera, so I'm not sure all of the layers in that one. I just put a little tiny bit of satin enamel white before I do this straight pour. Now at first I was kind of nervous because this straight pour, look how black it looks. And I was scared at first it was just going to be black, but honestly a lot of the colors rose to the surface after the black fell through. But it's also the reason I decided to do a second cup, because I was very nervous about it just being too dark. So I mixed a second cup, and I can see the gold, the red, vermilion, and then I ended in yellow and white. So that put the lightness back into the painting. Otherwise, you can see how dark it would have been without that second cup. So sometimes it's good just to see what you have going on. You know, of course it changes before you tilt. But look at your colors. What do you have going on right there? Is there anything that you'd like to change? You know, before you tilt is a great time to add a second cup if you want to brighten it up. I actually decided that yellow, later on in this one, I decided the yellow wasn't prominent enough. But first I want to do some more of those pearl cells. This is the third set of pearl cells I've done. So I did a ring of the 24 karat gold, and then a ring of the Tiger's Eye pigment by Leslie Onstad's Color Art. That's the Tiger's Eye. That's one of my favorite pigments. I had a little bit more. I just added a little bit more. And then this was just a little bit more of the gold. This is actually the golden fluid acrylic gold. And then I just wanted a little bit more of the Love Struck reds to come through there. And here, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like there wasn't enough yellow. Yellow is a hard one. It seems to sink down at times. So I said, what the heck? I'm just going to add it right now before I even tilt. Why not? So now the plan is to roll over that ring of metallic golds. When you do that, you can see I leave my canvas dry on the outside and I roll over them fairly quickly. I want the top pour to just roll over those metallics. And the first pour, I make the paint a bit thinner than the metallics, so the metallics are pretty thick. Now I'm picking out a piece of paint there that see how it's made an ugly little track all the way through there, but it's no worries, we can fix it. That's one thing about learning your craft, is pretty soon you can fix mistakes, and that's one of the signs of a great chef, a great artist, or pretty much whatever you do. If you can go and fix the mistakes. Like here, I didn't have enough paint to go all the way to the end, so I'm just going to add a few layers of paint right here on the edges, just some colors that I want to see. You can see some of those gold cells are starting to pop through. You do want your paint on the canvas to be relatively thin, so even though the consistency is thick, you want the paint on the canvas to be thin, if that makes any sense. I know I've contradicted myself all over this video, but what I'm trying to say is thick consistency for the metallics with a thinner consistency for the regular pour. But you have to dump enough paint off the canvas that there's not a lot of thickness layers of paint on the canvas, so the gold cells can push their way through. So all the things I'm saying are still true. I'm just trying to make that clear. And then this is my isolated reverse plastic wrap dip. So I basically tore a piece of plastic wrap the size and shape that I want it, and I'm going to gently pull it up. And I'm just tapping on it to make sure little air pockets are gone, so the plastic will come into contact with all the paint that I want to be lifted. And then I gather up all the edges. And I gently lift in the direction that I want the pattern to go. And then I just wanted to marry that edge over there with the plastic wrap edge. So I just use my balloon for just some very gentle sweeping rolls. Look how it looks like like a giant flower to me. But I did feel over here that some of the paint was too thin. The bare canvas was actually showing through on the edge there. You can't see it in the video, but that's what was happening. And so I wanted to bring some of the colors deliberately that I wanted to see there. And I just use another piece of plastic wrap in the shape that I want it. And then pull it back up. I love the way that looks there because now there's a movement going towards the center that looks very deliberate. And then I just wanted some of that fresh orange color, that vermilion color, to come through on the edges because I'm trying to make the composition balanced, I guess. And there is a lot of that vermilion in the center of that flower, but not on the edges. So I thought adding a little bit of that would marry the center with the edges. So that's what I'm trying to do, just provide some composition there with colors. See how that did that? See all the beautiful gold cells that are popping through. I love it. And there's now around that flower, that's all gold. It looks a little greenish in the video. I'm not sure why. But now I just want to define some lines. So I take the black and the popsicle stick and I'm just dipping it in the black and drawing it through just to bring some balance, some depth. And it might look a little out of place at first, but it'll settle. And this is where I'm using this plastic wrap. Any place that I think looks, kind of weird or spermy, I want to just change that a little bit so it doesn't have such a distinct look to it. So it looks more like it was intended to be there, that it happened naturally and organically. And that's one of the reasons why I'm also tilting. Look at the colors on that. When it's close to the camera, it picks up all of the beautiful colors. I love this set. This set of 3 is probably one of my favorite sets I've ever done. Just look at it. It's just so pretty to me. I think it's good for you to always turn your art so you can get an idea. I think it could totally hang that way. And this is one of those abstract paintings that could be hung in any direction. It could be hung that way too as well. And more and more and more of those beautiful cells just seem to pop through. Now, this gorgeous piece is still for sale. This is the first time I've actually publicly shown the video for it. So if you're interested in owning this piece or a piece in the series, let me know. And I would love to show them to you. Look at how that black just defines the whole flower shape. It's like an explosion. It doesn't have to be a flower. I just see it as a flower, but I understand everybody can see their own thing. but it's so pretty and so shimmery. It was late at night, so I did not take a close-up wet, but look at how this dried. It's just the same, and under a coat of varnish, I think this is going to be absolutely glorious. It's so bright and vibrant and beautiful. The colors are so rich. There's so much movement in this piece, really beautiful. And then I put it in these apps so you could see what it might look like in a frame, in a room. Not pretty. As always, you guys, thanks so much for coming along on this painting journey with me, and I can't wait to show you the cups that I'm testing out next time. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.